We have seen how to make a vertical linear gradient. This is a linear gradient because the colors change in a line, in a straight line. There's more ways to do gradients. We could do also a horizontal gradient, so you could draw lines that change the color. Those are vertical lines. You could also draw lines which slowly change the color, but are not maybe going vertical or horizontal, but are changing the angle. Or what we're gonna do next is to draw circles. So we're gonna make a circular gradient. And these circles are gonna change slowly the color, and it will produce a nice effect. We just have to change a very few lines in this program. This is the effect we have now. And what we're gonna do is just replace the line here with ellipse. We can choose a position in the screen, for example, 100, 100. And now what we have to change here is this value. Maybe instead of y, we should call it r, like radius. So I'm gonna replace all these y variables with r. R is 0, r is less than height, r plus plus. Here too, now I'm mapping our radius into values which are between 0 and 1. And I'm gonna type here r 2 times. Let's run the program and see what do we get. Not very beautiful. The problem is we are having a white fill, so I'm gonna type here no fill, and that makes a slight difference. You can see it has some defects. It has some empty dots here in the middle, and that's because the lines are very thin. So sometimes between one line and the next, it's getting a few empty pixels. This can also be solved very easily by entering here a stroke weight of 2. So the lines are now thicker, and now we don't see these missing pixels here. I'm going to set a black background 0, which probably looks better. And we have these nice spheres that it looks like a sphere in 3D sometimes, or some cells. Or how could we change the radius of this circle? So it's very simple. We have to change this value here, this height. So we should define a variable, for example, max r, like maximum radius. And I'm gonna say this is 100. So now instead of using the height, which is totally unrelated to the radius actually, so I'm gonna say here max r, and here too max r. So now with this variable here, we can define how large is our circle. And it looks like lately I forget all the time to declare my variables. So now we have this small one, or we can make it very big, like 600. So you can see that it's very easy to create circular gradients.